We want you to...
Now.
وسيكون المستقبل مرهونا بمدى سرعتنا في تنمية العقول المبدعة والخلاقة.
تسعى بلادكم لتطوير حاضرها وبناء مستقبلها، نمضي قدما في طريق التنمية والتحديث والتطوير المستمر.
وهم الطاقة الحقيقية والقوة الحقيقية لتحقيق هذه الرؤية، وهي أهم ميزة بالنسبة لدى السعودية هي الطاقة الشبابية اللي فيها.
يسرني الإعلان عن البرنامج الوطني لإثراء المحتوى الإبداعي والثقافي.
نفس الأرض اللي انطلقت منها طاقة ساهمت في نهضة المملكة أو ساهمت في نهضة صناعات عالمية على مستوى العالم، يكون هذا المكان اللي يشهد انطلاقة لنوع ثاني من الطاقة اللي تعتمد على طاقة البشر، على نشر المعرفة والثقافة، تحفيز الإبداع، التواصل الحضاري الثقافي.
ما سيقوم به مركز إثراء من تشجيع صناعة الأفلام والسينما في المملكة العربية السعودية. كل اللي أقدر أقوله في الحقيقة إني شكراً، وإني فخور إنه الصرح هذا الشامل في بلدي.
Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and cyberpunks. My name is Hamish Jenkinson, and I will be your host today for Demo Day. I don't think there has ever been a more interesting time to be alive. The internet is barely 20 years old, and yet it is fundamentally changing the way we learn, the way we communicate, the way we play. The metaverse, this is a term that was only coined in 1992, and now it is the buzzword of the moment. Microsoft have just acquired Activision Blizzard for an eye-watering $70 billion. Facebook have changed their name. This is no longer child's play. This is a very serious business. Web 2 is rapidly being overtaken by Web 3. What will that be? We don't yet know, but it will incorporate digitization, blockchain, and token-based economies. But what is all of this technology without stories and content? And that is at the very heart of creative solutions. This lab, over the last year, has been the home to a cohort of 30 people who are genuinely pushing the boundaries. Creative Solutions is leading the way forward in the kingdom, providing a unique opportunity. In this lab are some of the most amazing tools available in the entire region. This program began in 2019 in its early phase, and I was very lucky to come and see it in its infancy as it developed. Last year, they began the process of searching for a group of 30 individuals that would become the cohorts. There was a huge list of applications. Eventually, they were whittled down into 30. That group of 30 people were then paired up with a series of masterclasses from some of the most incredible leaders in their field. People that have worked for the likes of Sony PlayStation on AAA games, and artists that are pushing the boundaries. They developed their ideas. They honed their skills. And now, I'd like to give you a little taste of what that was like with a short video.
At Ithra, we want you to create your own immersive experience. Our Creative Solutions program. Creatives, technologists, and artists in Saudi. We are looking for your projects in augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, haptics, and immersive audio.
Creative Solutions is an opportunity to be a part of the future in a growing economy, not just in Saudi Arabia, but in the world. Whether you're a doctor, engineer, filmmaker, artist, or a student, this is an opportunity to create solutions where technologies adjust to our needs.
The Creative Solutions program is a fantastic way to meet new people, to learn more about immersive technology, and really bring our concepts to life.
The program helps us really knit our individual abilities together and be able to develop a mixed reality project.
Ithra empowers creativity in the kingdom and develops content throughout its programs.
Brilliant, and that really does only give you a small taste of what the cohorts experienced over this last period of time. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce Ashraf Farki. He is a promoter of science and literature, but I think what's been most important about your involvement in this program is knowledge exchange. If technology can teach us anything, it's that sharing of information is absolutely critical. And by designing a program like this, you're really spearheading that kind of knowledge exchange, the best of the best. Please.
Greetings all, and thank you for joining us this evening at the launch of our exciting Creative Solutions Demo Day at Geffen. ladies, gentlemen, cyberpunks. At Ithra, innovation takes center stage, as you all know. Here it is where imagination is powered, ideas are born, and knowledge is shared. We at Ithra aim to support, inspire, and nourish the growth of Saudis, both locally and internationally, who are thriving to thriving in the creative sector by providing them with the resources, expertise, and opportunities to unleash their potential as they face with the developing, sweeping world progressing forward. According to the UNESCO estimates, the creative economy provides 30 million jobs worldwide. This demonstrates tremendous ability to generate jobs, improving income, creating new opportunities within new sectors, motivating and utilizing the skills, energy, creativity, and innovation of people within our societies. Here at Ithra, we are proud to provide purpose-driven programming which addresses the fast-growing changes and technological advancements sweeping our world as we champion Saudi talent and innovation backed by creativity, community, and connection. These three tenets of our Creative Solutions program. Now, this program, Creative Solutions, promises to educate, inspire, and celebrate creative individuals as they develop digital immersive content. And moreover, this program will connect them with global experts and investors as they promote and nurture new and innovative products. Last year, the Creative Solutions program launched and with an open call, as you all remember, to attract innovators and creatives in the kingdom. From more than 2,000 applicants, 30 participants were selected, and 5 winning ideas developed into practical and marketable models, which we are celebrating tonight. Creative Solutions program is a testament to Ithra's commitment to building sustainable creative ecosystem in the kingdom. We are encouraged by the interest shown in the program during its first year, and with over 2,000 participation requests, as I mentioned, 27 strategic partners, 227 training and development hours, and 12 professional courses. We are immensely proud to the work the 2021 participants put into their project. From augmented reality, virtual reality, immersive and audio and more, immersive technologies take center stage at our showcase, bringing you art, health, well-being, training, entertainment, education, and culture through digital innovation. This, as you all know, is a perfect mixture of the 5 pillars that our offerings stand on. Art, knowledge, innovation, society, and art, knowledge, culture. Thank you. Here's my boss. Now, today, starting from today, hopefully, we are not only celebrating the achievement of the final project, finalists, which I would ask you to please give them an applause. In addition to that, we are also here to celebrate all of the participants of the program and their dedication to learn and innovate. A special gratitude to the mentors, partners, and co-creators whose contribution has helped bringing Creative Solutions to life. In the spirit of looking forward, we'd also like to take this opportunity to announce that the submissions for the 2022 Creative Solutions editions are officially open from today until April 30th. At Ithra, we believe there is always more creativity to foster, mentor, and direct with inspiration and innovation, guided by creativity and collaboration. I would like personally to take this opportunity to provide my deepest gratitude to the team responsible for tonight and the whole story that I've enjoyed being part of for most of the previous years. I'm not going to mention names, but you know them, and they're around tonight. The team, thank you so very much. With that, I invite you all to a wonderful and non-forgettable experience in the Idea Lab of Geffen. Thank you for being with us again. See you around.
Thank you, Ashraf. I couldn't agree more with what you were saying. In terms of this kind of technology, it is ever evolving, it is constantly changing. And so it definitely provides the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to be right at the forefront, because it is something that is brand new to everyone around the world. And that, to me, is just an incredibly exciting prospect. Now, what I would like to do is to give you just a little taste of what those masterclasses were actually like for the cohorts. I was lucky enough to go to Anthony Geffen's studio in London. He is, without doubt, one of the most decorated, award-winning filmmakers, immersive filmmakers. He's been in the business for many, many years, and he's been to the bottom of the Mariana Trench, as deep as you can go, and created VR experiences with Tim Peat, the only British astronaut to make it to space. And it was a great pleasure. I sat down with him for an hour. The cohorts also had a great deal of time with him. And what we've produced now is just a short little 10-minute film to give you an idea of the quality of masterclasses that were available to the cohorts. So if you could play that film for me now, thank you.
My name's Anthony Geffen. I describe myself as someone who is a seasoned filmmaker, almost in every medium, but someone who's always been fascinated by new platforms. And now I'm lucky enough to have, or sit over creatively, a set of companies that I can steer the visions that I have now, not just as a straight filmmaker, but have the visions I have that can feed to other teams that can create those experiences on different platforms, as well as big feature docs and other things like that. I, from a very young age, was interested in storytelling. It was very exciting, where you could really bring one's own vision to bear on important subjects, and subjects that could change the way other people saw the world. What took a long time to come were people who could show you different platforms that were really different platforms. These were not just add-ons. And obviously that era came into the 3D era, where I worked with Attenborough a lot to really push the bounds. But it was people like Michael Deering and Ivan Sutherland who invented VR that really piqued my imagination. So 20 odd years ago, I was out working with them in Hollywood on things like virtual chariot rides and things like that. And that really showed me the potential for virtual reality and immersive storytelling. The equipment we were building was bespoke, very, very expensive. Headsets could cost $500,000. I think one of the problems is that the VR took a long time, if not, it's still taking a long time to take off, is that the people who started telling stories on it, on the whole, were from technical backgrounds. They weren't necessarily the best storytellers. Storytellers found it difficult to get into the medium because it was quite complicated. So you were not getting the best storytellers coming through. So I think VR really suffered from a long period of time, to be honest with you, but things that were less good than television. to go to a new medium and to get it to work, you've got to be better than television in a different way, but you've still got to be better. You've still got to, people have got to wake up in the morning and think, I want to put a VR headset on and see X, Y, and Z. And it's that returnability to the headset that we don't have at the moment. And that returnability is what the big companies are now trying to crack with new headsets that are much better than the ones that are now, that really can give the storytellers that opportunity to tell the great stories. The best way I always see it is pushing that technology. So I'm happy to go back to the manufacturers often and say, this isn't working for us, you know, this isn't working. Can you do something about it? And then collaborate with the technology companies to change things. I like to think some of the handful of experiences we've done, which I think are game-changing. You know, they travel the world, they're location-based, and people consider they're both great storytelling on the right technology. The Tim Peake experience is one of those experiences that is a bit of a game changer, because it was a collaboration between the Science Museum and then NASA, who were absolutely obsessed with getting everything right. Because if it isn't, you're not experiencing what you're supposed to be experiencing. Do you know what I mean? So amazing things happened in that. We managed to get some of the astronauts to actually help scan some of the space station. In pure audience terms, it takes you on a journey you will never go on. And it's totally accurate. I mean, you look out the window and what you're seeing out the window is exactly what Tim Peake saw. And that's where I think VR works, because no other possible platform could deliver that. It's not a fun ride. It's a fun ride, but in a real way. I think people get things wrong in a lot of VR experience. They try and sort of create things that would be really good in a documentary, somehow in a VR experience. That's not the way to go. The way to go is to think, how does a VR experience work in that particular way, and how can we tell a narrative? You know, there are no close-ups and wide shots in this. You know, it flummoxes most people. I mean, really established filmmakers have come here, and after a day they sort of go, God, I don't know if I can do this, because, you know, we control things by a close-up and a wide shot. We now do it by sound or light or other ways of telling that story. That's completely changing the narrative of telling stories. I'm really excited by the immersive future, because I think it's going to change, you know, so many ways that people see things, and it's going to bring people to understand more things about themselves and the rest of the world in a way we've never done before. We're on the cusp of a massive new era. We can't see it right now because the technology is not there, but I can tell you it's going to be there, and it's going to be extraordinary. It's going to affect everything from, you know, not just media, but tourism, health, education. But the thing that really interests me is once you get to AR experiences that you're taking part in, and it's interesting. We've done medical tests with Harvard Medical School, where we've taken AR experiences, and people are learning 4 times faster inside an AR experience. VR is great, but VR's limitation is that you can't share it with anybody. The great thing about AR is we could all in this room put glasses on, and we could see anything that we're doing. If we wanted to go under the sea, you could literally turn this room with the technology that's coming in a matter of seconds into an underwater set from the Red Sea. You and I can have this, have a set of those glasses and interact with objects and things and stories. I mean, it's so huge. It's actually quite hard to believe what's coming. Saudi is a really interesting place. It's a happening place. But I think the most important thing about Saudi is it is absolutely in a central place. It's a hub. It's a pretty impressive place. I think the vision of NEOM is unbelievable. I think they'll pull it off, and if they do that, that's a massive thing to succeed. The Creative Solutions program is important in Saudi Arabia because it's going to give people a framework in which to understand a really important new thing that is coming, which is the immersive world. But actually they can be ahead. They can be right on the forefront in the latest mediums, and those mediums without question are the immersive mediums of VR and AR. And my advice is always to get a very simple camera, 360 camera, lots of people make them, and start to play with them, because you'll very quickly, even though it's very crude, you'll start to see what the problems are. We've got a 360-degree stage, and you're performing to everybody. And you just break down those things. It's amazing how quickly people come up with the problems. You can then start to move on from them. It's a great way to start. I think the creative solutions can help in many, many ways, because I think if we can show people what's coming, then you can attract the young people across the country who don't have any understanding of what these new mediums are, and you can teach them how to do it. That's the most important thing. The fundamental skills that people should have are the skills of storytelling, because you have the skills of storytelling, you can actually overcome things. You also need some technical skills, but you can learn those. Those are something you can learn. You can't teach people, to storytell very easily, but you can teach people new technology. You put the two together, and then you've got something pretty powerful. We're lucky enough that we're working on a number of projects in Saudi, and obviously we're bringing our skill base in a way to Saudi. But I think what's equally important, and I think some of these creative solutions can do it, is to create that local interest and local talent, so that they can start, and Saudis themselves can start to build that skill base, which is really important in this new immersive technology. I think that it's very important that we continue to have a lot of cohort programs, because we're going to capture people over a long period of time who are going to get excited about storytelling, excited about immersive storytelling, and that will trigger a whole wave of new storytellers, which is exactly what we need. And it could be, it could be anything. It could be from the arts, it could be in science. I think this is the thing I keep trying to get across to people. This is in all areas that you can bring stories alive. It's not just what we call the media world. I think what I believe is we're right on the edge now of a massive new kind of revolution in media and many, many other mediums, where we're going to move from the smartphone world to the immersive world. That world is very difficult to comprehend because we can't see it yet, but it's going to radically change almost any discipline that you can imagine. And one of the things that's really important is we need to start understanding how to build using the current technology so that people, particularly students, are prepared when that comes, of how to learn to do AR and VR stories and learn to tell stories on other platforms. 2 or 3 years away from that happening. If you're interested in creative solutions in terms of immersive storytelling, please look at applying by the 30th of April.
Well, hopefully you found that as inspiring as I did. Really, it's a testament to the quality of this program and the talent that was available to the cohorts. Now, as a 20-year veteran of running my own agency, I've had a lot of experience, but of course, some of these cohorts have never had the kind of practical, hands-on experience of building a proposal, putting together a budget, pitching a concept, and they all had to do that in overdrive. And it's almost impossible to put into words, so we tried to put it together in a brief film that gives you a highlight of what it was like for the cohorts.
Our world can easily shift from a very physical based world into a virtual one to kind of make up for all the imagination and creativity that can't be expressed everywhere else.
So the player, when they are wearing their headsets, they feel that they are immersed and within their experience, and nothing could draw them off that experience.
For a 2D world where you are watching it through the TV, that's one experience. But actually putting the player inside that world is a completely different experience with completely different considerations.
Bringing the heritage into media such as video games will give people a chance to learn more about us and our heritage.
Our project will help in changing the meaning of immersive technologies, where everyone can create and join engaging experiences regardless their technology background.
My project aims to enhance the way people perceive information and build it and integrate it in their own perspective of the world.
Brilliant. And now can you put your hands together for the first of the winning prototypes, Naima, to tell us about Anticipation of Rain.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Naima Karim. I am a painter of the sky. My inspiration for the anticipation of rain came from acknowledging and loving nature. During my serious illness in 1999, I had a revelation. I saw how beautiful nature is and everything that is moving in it. I wanted to connect all with my personal story and my memory of the monsoon rain in my home country, Bangladesh. Since then, monsoons have become more erratic and unpredictable due to climate change, but I think there is still hope. As an artist, I believe that an artist should evolve and that there is no limit in the medium. I wanted to create a multisensory exhibit beyond my canvases because I wanted my audience to walk around, explore, and interact with my work in a 3D environment. 10 months ago, I had no idea what VR or XR was. But because of the Creative Solutions program, I got the opportunity to develop my idea. I learned to use the OpenBrush VR tool to create a prototype using my artistic style and created a 3D world that you can all experience today. My next step is to make the Anticipation of Rain a location-based multisensory exhibit that will travel all around the world and inspire everyone. I want my audience to love this world that we all share. And for that, I need to secure investments to deliver a powerful and unique VR experience. Come with me on this journey where the sky is no longer the limit. Thank you.
Thank you, Naima. Thank you for sharing that. And now can we ask Haifa and to tell us about her project, Alcut VR.
Yes.
There you go.
Thank you.
The click is there.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Haifa Al-Hababi. I'm a part of Alcut VR team. Actually, I will give you a glimpse from what you're going to see today at our stand. It's all started when I get introduced to my culture by a French photographer. So at that time, I promised myself to do this field work and to capture Al-Gatt al-Asiri and take it to the next step, that it's documentation, and also to share it with the world. Thank God, 2017, Saudi Arabia actually listed Al-Gatt al-Asiri and the UNESCO, the word actually intangible heritage, and it's become the second intangible heritage that's been listed, and I'm proud that my documentation and my research was the base of that registration. Oops. I'm sorry. So actually, all the ideas started after the UNESCO registration, because from there we think, what's next? What we're gonna do? What we're gonna do next? So the idea of digitalizing the heritage, it was there since 2007. We tried our best to bring it to life, and thank for Ithra, it was an opportunity to us to participate, and alhamdulillah that we've been chosen among the five projects. So as you can see, Al-Gat VR project, it's contain a lot of disciplines. So we have architects, we have a Saudi composer. We have also a Saudi, what they call it, a Saudi company that also do the coding of the game. All of us, we came from different backgrounds, but we share the same dream that we want our heritage to get shared and known by everyone. And as you can see, as we experienced actually, that if we are not online, we are not there. And Corona made it clearly to everyone that if you are not online or you are not on the websites or you are not using any of this technology, so you are not there. Today you're gonna see, actually it's a demo. It's a game that will gonna take you to Rijal Al and Asir. You're gonna feel you're gonna be actually in a traditional house, and you're gonna feel like you go by time for 100 years or more back. From this game, we are looking actually to develop it, not only for Asir region, because this is one of the questions that have been asked, why Asir? It's not Asir only. Asir is the beginning. And we are looking for going more to all Saudi, cities. And also, as you know, Saudi Arabia, it's huge, and they have a different, each region have its own culture. At the end, I would like to thank Ithra for giving us the opportunity and to showcase our dream. And thank you, everyone. But before leaving you, I would like to announce that actually our game had. Sorry, I have to read it because it's little bit complicated. Okay, so we get the audience award in a competition. It's a worldwide competition that's held by I think German, right? Yeah. Okay. So it's called Super Artificial Intelligence, and the award that we get, it's the audience award, and that shows how people are like really hunger to such a creation. Thank you, everyone, and to the people who are seeing us online, please, if you have any question, just go to this website and you're gonna find us there. And obviously, our audience, you are welcome to ask us any question when you are after your experience tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Haifa. And now it's time to invite to the stage Abdullah Bamashmouz. You're going to tell us about your project.
Hello, everyone. This is Abdullah from Hakawati Studio. And we present to you Wamda, a VR journey to the future. Wamda means a glimpse. It is a story about a guy called Uday in his quest to find his lost brother. In his journey in 1970, he goes across Saudi Arabia to Tabuk Mountains, where he finds a cave that he will get trapped inside, and he will find a time machine that will take him to the future. Every player, every user will put his VR headset and they will experience life from Uday's perspective. They would be able to take decisions, solve the puzzles, and find the secrets of Saudi Arabia. As you can see here, we have developed in our demo the last part of the story, which is called Arc 3. In our future plan, within the next 6 months, we are planning to finish Arc 1 and Arc 2, which is the backstory of the experience. We are planning to finish Neom Multiverse, which we believe is going to be part of Neom. Above the physical layer, we're going to have 2 layers, one for entertainment, one for social layer. And we will add the ability for every player to be able to navigate across the city, as well as enhance animation and facial expression for the characters and the characters of the experience, as well as adding more immersion in the experience. We believe that we have a great product over here. However, we would like to find someone who can help us with the investment plan. We would like the organization for art, media, and culture to help us to go to this product, to take this product further. Of course, we will never be able to create this project without the great help of Creative Solutions. I would like to invite you all to come to our booth to experience Saudi like you have never experienced before. This has been brought to you by Hakawat Studio. My name is Abdullah Bamashmous.
Thank you, Abdullah. And then I'd like to invite Abdullah Rafaj. Maybe you can tell us about your project, The Story of Science.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for coming. My name is Abdullah. I'm a software engineer, and generally I'm a lot more comfortable behind the screen than I am comfortable in here, but I'll present to you the basic idea that we are working here on, which is the story of science. It's a virtual reality educational experience, and the aim in this demo or this part of development was to primarily test what could be delivered through the medium of virtual reality in terms of education. We've experimented with multiple tools inside the virtual world, including video, text, and interactive medium, and so on. I'll go through two things in the presentation. The first one of them is the development journey, and I'm pretty sure the facilitators here know about the fluctuation we had throughout the process. In the ideation process at the beginning of the program, we had so many dreams and ambitions on how we can fully exploit the medium to its full potential. But when we faced the actual reality of the development itself, we struck some difficulties, but thankfully through collaboration of the developers, the mentors, and the facilitators of the CSP program, thankfully we've grown to a pretty decent level, and hopefully the graph continues scaling up in the future. The second thing I wanted to talk a little bit about is our vision for the future of the experience. We're planning to take this through 3 levels. The first one is we would like to refine the experience to fine-tune how we can maximally get the utility of virtual reality. So sticking with the same topic that we introduced here, which is astronomy, what are the best tools or what are the best approaches we can use to deliver information for people in a way that will allow them to maintain it in their actual lives. The second part of the development hopefully will be to replicate the same approach to different mediums. We're planning to approach multiple science disciplines, including computer science, biology, and different mediums and different domains. And finally, we're planning to extend the vision to become a platform-based structure to allow educators to teach their own experiences and their own expertise with relatively easy to use tools. And the way we have designed the experience so far was primarily with simplicity in mind. We used neural networks to synthesize speech, and we used an easy to navigate architecture for the users to expand on the experience to different disciplines. And I guess they only tested this as the actual usage of the users, which hopefully will be achieved within the near future. Thank you everyone for listening, and I'll let the work speak for itself. Please visit the podium. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abdullah. And now up to the stage is Noof to tell us about Raya, the final prototype of the evening. There you you go.
Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. I'll present for Raya project on behalf of Nof because she's a bit sick today. So for Raya project, I'm dividing into 2 slides. The first, I want to talk about Raya in the making. And as you've seen, Creative Solutions has provided us with a ton of masterclasses, of so many capabilities of XR, either VR or AR. So being exposed to that much new technology and some of the greatest makers, we've seen so many potential in it. But what we've seen mostly, or what we wanted mostly, was to bring an average person, someone who with absolutely no background in technologies, into having the opportunity to having immersive technologies in their lives. Which is why we created Raya. Raya is an application for anyone to create augmented reality, which is a template, a creator, a tool for organizations, for museums, for exhibitions, up to people at schools or people at parties who want to make an immersive experience. We've seen that last week on Leap, I'm not sure if you've visited there, but you've seen technology everywhere, health, education, transportation. So why not bring an average person to entertainment or touring? That's the idea of Raya. What we wanted to do mostly is to enable people to create their own journeys, to make any journey an interactable, fun, a journey powered by AR, powered by gamification, a competitive experience for everyone, and eventually we hope to deliver this everywhere. We started today with a vertical slice. What you're experiencing in our demo today is one application of it, one use case on the demo day. So we're using a demo day for your touring. We're empowering the tour today, but hopefully we can bring on a generic version of it where you can create a journey for everyone at home or at school or at museums. So yeah, visit us and see if you can help us have a better tool. Thank you.
Thank you. And if I could ask you all just to come up to the stage for me, that would be great. So wasn't that brilliant? Hopefully now you've got a little bit of an understanding of those projects. I'm just going to spend a moment in time talking to each of the team leaders. Well, an extra special round of applause. I'm not sure there's many of us that have been involved in securing a UNESCO World Heritage Site. That's absolutely amazing. When you went into this process, had you been involved in this kind of technology before, or was this new to you?
Actually, I have this bit from my father's side. My father, he's a computer science, but I'm more into art and architecture. So, but yeah, I've known it as a user, but not as an insider. But I can understand. Right.
It's notable to me that there are the men on the stage are outnumbered, and I think your project was there were a lot of women involved in it. Is that right?
Yes. Actually, it's not only that. It's actually a practice that done only by a female in Asir region. So.
So are the men allowed to try the VR?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good. You are allowed to try, everyone. It's a little bit like, I've had a go, it was great. It's got an educational side to it, but it's also got a bit that's like Beat Saber. You've got to be quite on your toes. It's a tricky thing, right?
Yes, actually, as you said earlier, that it's an educational thing, but to let's say pass our education in a lovely way, okay? So that's why we use the rhythm in the game. So people will not gonna, especially the new generation, they will not gonna feel like bored of repeating history or culture or the new generation. So that's why we had this rhythm on it.
Well, it's brilliant, and I hope all of you get a chance to play it. Naima, you know, your project was an incredibly personal project, and you know, you feel very close to you when you go inside the VR experience. How was that process of sharing this story for you?
Well, it is something I wanted to give an example, and that's the best way to show everybody or share everybody with the personal story. So I have my memories from Bangladesh growing up, that monsoon rain that is so beautiful, romantic. At the same time, it's very scary. But after the storm finishes, you go back to this beauty. You remember that how beautiful it was, exciting it was. So this is just an example that I want people to, I want with my personal story to share that the world is changing rapidly. And I know that monsoon rain has changed. It's more erratic and unpredictable. And I want people to inspire, to love this whole world. Bangladesh is just an example. And, you know, take care of this world.
And again, I think technology was not something that you were used to doing. You're a painter,
yeah.
Acrylic and brush.
Yes.
How did you find picking up a VR headset and trying to create in a whole new medium?
Well, I love painting on canvases, something I really enjoy. But I had this idea that needed more beyond the canvases. So it was asking for this platform. So I pushed myself to apply for this Creative Solutions program, and I enjoyed every bit. It was such a hard work. I broke down so many times. I cried because I couldn't even...
That's true. I remember when I remember when the judges announced the winner, and Naima was on the call. It was a Zoom call, of course. And yeah, there were a lot of tears. I don't think she could believe that she'd been selected,
no.
Because you know there was incredible competition to move forward into this prototyping phase. So it's a credit to you and your project.
Yeah, and like I said, I couldn't even use Excel sheet, and those kind of things is like impossible for me. And then I learned in 2 weeks how to use a VR tool, OpenBrush. And I painted all these that you're going to experience today, all these 3D world.
Well, it also didn't take Naima long, because once she'd had some masterclasses and she got to the point where she was pitching her project, it suddenly became a location-based VR project with rain and haptic feedback and scent and all of these things. And we had to kind of say, Naima, it's a great project, but this is the prototype phase. The ambition is fantastic, but let's slow down a litle. But hopefully you can take your project further with some of the support that may be in the room this evening.
Hope so.
Abdulaziz, you're part of a big team, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. How did you find the process of managing the big team that you had?
Well, it's amazing to be able to communicate your vision, to transition from one stage to another, from pre-production, innovation stage, to a bigger stage, which involve a lot of players. Sometimes time doesn't help us, but the process actually amazing. And what's supposed to mention, I had a great support from all the team members. They have been, well, actually, I had got married during my project.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Did you rope her into the team as well?
Huh?
Oh, yeah, she's in the team.
Yeah, okay. She's part of the team, yeah.
Keeping it in the family.
Yes. What I actually have done, I've tried to stay in 2 months parallel with my partners and my colleagues, to ensure that everything would go right. Even if I go off of the project, we had 2 months of direct supervision, showing, creating, making, ensuring everything would go as planned. And yeah, alhamdulillah, after all, it's a great project.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to have been up to Tabuk and been in these mountains, and they're kind of the red and the power and the majesty of this place. How did you go about researching and trying to capture that in the VR?
First of all, you're lucky. I could not get the chance to travel to Tabuk myself to go to Allah's mountain. But however, we had a very smart idea, searching on hashtags to find pictures, videos, and any information that we can capture to be able to imagine it. So our story is, or the place that our story happens in Allah's mountain, in a cave just in front of the line, as part of the Neom, the line. So there's a part called the mountain part. So the player would go out of that part and see Neom, experience Neom there. So we were looking at Allah's mountain and trying to find any video, any sources, online sources to capture that moment. And yeah, that have been transparently expressed to the artist and the team. And yeah, it have been, as Hamish have tried the experience, said it looks exactly the same.
Yeah, it's great. Well, I won't give away all the secrets, but there are lots of great things to discover inside caves and then what opens up afterwards. So I hope everyone gets a chance to try that. Now, Abdullah Rafaj, I read the proposal. It took me 37 hours and 54 minutes. You can tell it was written by a computer scientist. It was ambitious, to say the least. Tell us a little bit about, your creative journey. I love that graph you described.
Right. There are actually multiple dimensions to this answer. To begin with, we have...
That's a computer science answer, isn't it?
I'll try to keep it brief, though. One part of it was the actual technicality of developing the product, which once we got the right developers and designers on board was definitely smooth sailing from there to a degree. Because within the development process itself, you don't try to achieve the vision that you were set out to deliver on. It's more of a synthesis of each person's contribution to what they can work with and how they can deliver it. And it turns out it's far better than whatever I had imagined in the initial version. And this does not only include the developers and the designer, it also includes the faculty and the mentorship program of CSP. So overall, it went pretty well.
When you began your project, had you been thinking about kind of immersive technologies in education and storytelling in education? Because it struck me that when I was in this VR experience, and it's an astronomy-based project, you can look on a book and you can read as much as you can, but imagine being able to hold a galaxy in your hand and see the stars and the planets moving around. It strikes me that it's just the most incredible way to learn. Was that a big factor in trying to create this project as opposed to, again, the learning aspect?
The ambition of improving on the educational approach in general has definitely been a concern regardless of the medium, but since the opportunity presented itself in virtual reality, we tried to maximize the value we can get from that medium in particular. But for writing the content itself, I was actually lucky enough to be able to get in touch with King Fahd University Astronomy Club to help me out with the research, including Dr. Ashraf as well, who teaches astronomy in the experience. And familiarity with the topic definitely helped out a lot. I did a little bit of work in the domain as well. But we're definitely not trying to limit the experience to this, but since astronomy is visually striking as an excellent educational topic, so we started with this. But I do believe that all different mediums could have the same learning impact through visuals and interactivity as well as astronomy.
Well, I mean, from my perspective as an outsider, education has always seemed such a cornerstone of the country's foundations. It's great to see these new technologies being used in this way, and I wish your project all the very best.
Thank you.
Now, to you, Raya, I don't know, those astute of you might have picked up, but in the film, Anthony Geffen talks about how augmented reality is really the area that he's most excited about. I think Google smart glasses have been touted for a long time. We didn't get to see them. Magic Leap became this billion-dollar, not quite so exciting. It under-delivered. Apple, they are about to bring out potentially this year. And you chose augmented reality, didn't you? You were the only one. Why was augmented reality your medium?
Yeah, so we had two main reasons. One is that the team already had some familiarity with augmented reality, but majorly because, as Tim also said, it's that VR is maybe cool, but a bit far from an average user because it requires gadgets and some experience in using this kind of technology. However, AR, you can simply explain it to anyone, and they can just get along with it, and they would still have a very fun time. They can learn easily and get to it quickly. So I think bringing AR and the scene can expand much faster and get to everyone from their mobile phones to their iPads for kids, and it's like you can reach everyone from there.
Great. I mean, I had fun chasing around the lab here, trying to collect all the things that were there. But I guess, you know, you have the ability to think on a much larger scale than that. You know, for example, it could take over the whole facility,
Exactly.
the whole Ithra, right?
Yeah, exactly. We can, as we can apply it to small scales, we can apply it to much bigger scales. We can not only serve entertainment or interactivity, but we can also collect feedback, study the user behavior, because we can see how many people are getting there. We can ask them questions. We can get to know how much they understand of what they are being perceiving. So going in a museum, you can see how much of the information is being perceived to an individual.
Brilliant. Well, put your hands together for our winning prototypes. Well, you know, as I said earlier, I've actually been involved in this program for you know, a couple of years now. And the first time I visited the Ideas Lab, someone tried to kill me. They put me in a Tesla suit, and this is a very special suit. It's got haptic feedback. It's connected up with electricity, and I took hold of a sonic blaster and pressed the thing, and I thought I died and gone to heaven. It was an electrifying moment. But in all seriousness, Ahmed Abdulrahman is the Immersive Lab manager, and I've been around and I've seen this guy operate, and the place wouldn't run without him. He knows all the passwords, and he keeps all the machines running. So put your hands together.
Thank you, Hamish. Welcome to everyone. Assalamu alaikum. But now the question is, how am I going to be able to convince people to try the Tesla suit? You ruined it for me.
Well, I did say crank it up to 100. We've toned it down.
True,
now, haven't we?
true. So I'm pretty sure our viewer at home and our audiences here have seen the lab in person, or you're seeing the lab in the picture. The lab started as an idea to be a place for the cohort to be able to collaborate, to innovate, to have the hardware that they need in the program, to be able to test those tools. Some of the tools are new to them, so we wanted to make sure that we have a safe space for them to start using it. Eventually, our ambition grew bigger, and we decided to go public and change our audience from being just the cohorts to be the whole kingdom. In terms of researchers, enthusiasts in the immersive technology, anyone who have a passion or want to learn about immersive technology, the lab is open to anyone to come learn, try the immersive technology, like whether it's VR, AR, and we have a variety of hardware in the lab. We made sure that we don't only have the most common hardware, but anything that can help you, whether it's a VR, whether it's a Tesla suit, and I'm proud to say that we have the only Tesla suit in Saudi Arabia. So yeah, we have a virtualizer that you can come and develop on. You have all the kind of VR headsets that are in the VR headset or AR headset that are available in the lab. We just want you to make sure to develop on them, and for one simple reason. We want to increase the market share of the Saudi build at home, Saudi local immersive applications, whether it's a VR application like the cohorts showed us here, whether it's an AR application. You pick your idea. We just want you to come out to us with an idea, with a passion, and we will try our best to help you out in here. So our dear visitor here, you're more than welcome to come here and go after this and try the lab. Our viewer at home, you're more than welcome in Ithra anytime. Just come here, experience what is immersive technology is. Thank you.
Brilliant. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I have been in Anthony Geffen's immersive lab, and there is a lot more in that room than there is in his. Just don't tell him I said so. And now I think I'd like to invite a very special individual to the stage, a man who's given a huge amount to this program. Felipe, please.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to be here today. I'm the head of the program. So as Hamish well said, this whole journey started in 2019. And then we survived COVID, man. So this is really good. So we had a moment to be brave, to keep redesigning, patience, really making the thing move into a hybrid way of delivery to make sure that we could go live. And that's happened last year. So we started our journey. I think the word for me is journey. I think I repeat this a couple of times to the cohort. I repeat this a couple of times to our team members and then also to our collaborators, because it's a journey that started, but is progressing. Yeah? Today is not the end of the journey. Today is just a checking point of our success stories. These 5 amazing creators that got to here. The journey will continue. We'll continue to the 59 people that engaged with us. It was 30 ideas, but we had 59 people working on those ideas. So even those that wasn't selected as finalists, we are gonna keep supporting them. This amazing cohort, they will be keeping working on this. You're gonna see it's amazing what they achieved. The prototype level is mind-blowing, is international level. I saw all the content internationally. For the amount of support that you guys got is amazing. You should be very proud of yourselves, as I am proud as well. And then also, thank you. And also is a keeping journey for us. Yeah, it's a moment that we are restarting the process. So today we are closing a cycle, but we're starting another cycle. So as well said by Ashraf, Open Call is open, 2022 cohort. So for those that are online watching us and want to join the program, getting the support, the engagement with this amazing international network that we managed to put together to support each of you, please get there and then apply and then register your interest. So thank you so much. I'm so happy to be part of this journey with all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. The journey does not stop here. These guys, ladies, they have set the bar extremely high. And so for the next round of cohorts that come in, we will be expecting a great deal from you. Anthony Geffen's talk has told us that we don't need to be technology experts, that we don't need to have huge budgets, that we can really create immersive content with a simple 360 GoPro camera and a passion to tell something. For me, storytelling has been critically important to everything that I try to do. And actually, I was reading recently research study that was done. And what's fascinating about it is that really storytelling is such a fundamental part to humanity. When we think about our ancient ancestors, and we think about that fireplace when we finally managed to control fire, and we sat round and we shared stories. Most of the conversations that were happening in the daytime were functional conversations. We were talking about berries and hunting and food and gathering and these kind of things. But it was when that fire lit and we sat around it that 80% of our stories started to become about our passions, about our lives, about play. And so I'm incredibly excited about what the cohorts will achieve next year as an example of what storytelling can mean to us as humanity, as we try and tackle the two great forces that are fundamental to all of our lives now, that of technology and nature. So, just to repeat, the open call is now live until the end of Ramadan. The exhibition that you can see across 3 floors and multiple rooms, that's going to be open until the 23rd of April, and it's an amazing opportunity for everyone to come down and experience it. And so to the viewing audience, I say good night. Thank you for being with us. And to those that are here in the lab, it's time to play. Thank you very much.
At Ithra, we want you to create your own immersive experience. Our Creative Solutions program. Creatives, technologists, and artists in Saudi. We are looking for your projects in augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, haptics, and immersive audio. Learn, explore, and create the unknown. Apply to Creative Solutions program today. For more information, visit ithra.com.
Oh, I dropped one.